There was once a young man named Arif, who lived in a small town. Everyone around him believed he was talented, but Arif never truly believed in himself. Every time life became difficult, he whispered the same line to himself: maybe this is not for me. Maybe I'm not enough. One day, after failing a job interview, Arif walked home with heavy steps. On the way, he saw an old carpenter cutting wood outside a small shop. The man's hands were shaking with age, but his focus was sharp, like a man who refused to stop. Arif stood and watched. The carpenter looked up and smiled. "Son, why do you look defeated?" Arif sighed. "I'm trying, but every time I fail, I feel like giving up." The old man nodded. "Let me tell you something I learned after 50 years of working with wood." He placed 2 planks on the ground. One plank is your 99% effort. The other is the last 1% that most people never give. Arif watched silently. The carpenter continued, "Do you know what separates the strongest wood from the weakest? Not the big cuts, not the perfect angles, but the last stroke of the blade, the final shaping, the finishing touch." He lifted the blade and gently carved the wood. It's the same in life. Everyone gives 99%, but the world remembers the people who give the last 1% even when they're tired, scared, or hopeless. Those words hit Arif like a lightning bolt. The old man wasn't talking about wood anymore, he was talking about life. That night, Arif decided something simple. He would never again stop at 99%. No matter how tired, no matter how slow, he would always give that last 1%. Days turned into weeks. Arif woke up early, studied more, practiced harder, and pushed a little further every single day. Yes, he still failed sometimes, but he no longer feared failure. He feared stopping early. One evening, after months of effort, he attended another job interview. And midway through the conversation, the interviewer asked, "What changed in you? Last time, you weren't this confident." Arif smiled. "Last time, I stopped at 99%. The interviewer laughed softly. "This time, you didn't." And that's exactly the attitude we need. Arif got the job, but the real victory was not the job offer. The real victory was the person he had become. Because once you learn to give that last 1%, nothing in life remains impossible. But the story doesn't end there. A year later, Arif returned to the old carpenter's shop. The man was still working, slowly shaping a beautiful wooden frame. Arif said, "Sir, your words changed my life." The carpenter smiled. "No, son, you changed your life. I only reminded you of your power." He handed Arif the same wooden plank he carved that day. On it he had written, "Success is not in the first 99% effort. Success is in the last 1%. Arif held it close to his chest. And he knew, as long as he kept giving his last 1%, life would never be able to stop him again.